this is how I made Chaos. It's a little bit big, so we're gonna have to add some foam padding. I can literally reach my hand in here and turn off the LED lights. It is a battle damaged Chaos helmet.
Alright, so we go to yoshstudios.com, and he also does Colts 3D, but we basically go there to get his file. He has a ton of creative and very high quality STLs for you guys to be able to print off of. I'm part of his patron, but here's all the pieces laid out, as you guys can see, and then I'm going to lay them out once they're done printing. If you guys have ever wondered how many pieces that I print in on bigger helmets like this project, look how many pieces it is. Now we can start actually taking off all these supports off of all these pieces. Get you some of this glue off of Amazon, very cheap, like 20 bucks, and it helps weld everything together really fast. And you'll see how I do it and why it works so well. Here I'm just aligning the pieces, making sure that the gap's not too big, but we're going to go ahead and put Bondo in it anyway just to help fill it up and 3D weld it, and that's because it fills in the large gaps. That way the Bondo actually has something to start layering up on. Here we're using 3M's Bondo and then some rubbing alcohol. We're going to pour in the Bondo and then mixing some rubbing alcohol to get it nice and like watery, so it goes on like with a paintbrush basically rather than a thick coating. This is why that glue stuff's amazing. So you can lay down the glue and then put in your magnets in the holes that are already pre-made from Yosh, and it's fantastic. And then put the activator on it. The activator instantly cures any glue, and it makes it so it just sticks. All right, so this helmet's actually been so much work, so many pieces. I've got the magnets on the helmet, like the faceplate to the helmet, and then I just finished putting on the side pieces and the front pieces. So for that, I did it off camera just because of how much work is going through, but I welded it from the back. We went ahead and put glue, and then this glue I'm gonna get rid of before painting it. Got a lot more putting together before we start doing anything resin. I don't know if I'm going to record the resin just because you guys see it all the time, but I will show process through this, and then we'll get to the other stuff like electronics and all that I have for this, and then show you what the final product looks like. But let's get to it. All right, so we've got a vast majority of this helmet done. Now it's basically time to get it to look like metal. So I'm going to be using graphite powder, and we're going to do a few neat tricks to it, but I am also waiting on other stuff to finish printing because I forgot some pieces apparently. But let's get to putting on some graphite powder, and I'll show you guys how to do that. Now this by no means has to be perfect because it is going to be battle damaged, and that's just my personal preference for this helmet. I think it'll look better. So I made the paint look like refractions in it, basically like a true metal casting. Like it's not perfect, and that's the way metal really usually is. So we just got to get all this coated. We also have the frame pieces that are going to cover up this big layer gap that I have to put on like a crown. So we'll do that too. Now that we got the top half coated in the graphite, I'm gonna take a paper towel and, just rub off the excess. It really helps keeping it nice and clean. Now we're gonna do the same thing for the front face shield. Get it looking pretty with graphite powder. Now we're going to do the same thing and wipe it. Make sure that the graphite actually gets into the paint and we get off all that extra dust on there, just in case. To make this better, we're going to take some rubbing alcohol and we're actually going to rub it over the graphite powder.
And what that does is help us settle the graphite powder and make it, see how reflective that looks? Doesn't that just look wicked? So menacing. Let's get the other pieces on. This is kind of hard to record, but basically I'm putting the eye on right now and I have to line it up. It has to be perfect or else it won't line up right and it won't look right. Just gonna kind of tack weld it for now, because I need to make sure that when you put this up to it, that looks right. So as you guys can see, the progress I'm making, I'm actually painting the bronze on by hand with acrylic paint. And then I have red for like blood spatter, but it's a damaged helmet, so we're getting into it. So we're gonna take the silver acrylic pen and paint in between the ridges while this faceplate is actually drying, so I can start doing more to it. So show you that then. So just that little accenting made a big of a difference in terms of seeing the actual metal versus silver. So still a lot more work to do. All right, so now we've done some battle damaging, making it look like it's basically been a bloody fight. But I took water and acrylic red paint, mixed it together, started dabbing it, and to do this was a burn effect of a blowtorch, and then just the red splatters everywhere. Don't want it to be perfect because we want it to look natural. And now we just put in the LED lights and that thing is looking literally menacing. I actually really love the way this helmet came out. It's a battle damage chaos helmet. I even made it gory. The LED eyes came out fantastic, so all I have to do is, I gotta do this with two hands, is basically pop it in because it is magnetic, and that's it. And it's fully wearable. It fits probably, I would say, up to 30 inches circumference head.